In today's breaking story, prominent Republican and Trump sycophant Lindsey Graham has laid out a doomsday election scenario that is sending shockwaves through the GOP. While appearing on Meet the Press, Graham sounded resigned to the fact that the Trump train has flown off the tracks, and he's calling on the party's first responders to pull it out of the ditch. And I'll have his uncommon but honest analysis for you in just a minute. I recently heard a term for the very first time, and it goes like this: Democrats fall in love, Republicans fall in line. And Democrats have certainly fallen in love with Kamala Harris and Tim Walz during this blue blitz of a shotgun wedding, and many have rejoined the campaign with vigor while riding a wave of high vibes.
I'm excited. I just want to be part of the excitement that you're generating.
Well, we're doing it together, buddy. We're doing it together.
And no one represents falling in line and the hypocrisy associated with it than Senator Lindsey Graham, who does it at the highest level. As a reminder, here's his stunning two-faced turnaround when he went from Trump basher to Trump butt kisser in the blink of an eye. And in a minute, I'll have today's quote that seems to show him as a dejected and defeated GOP leader.
You know how you make America great again? Tell Donald Trump to go to hell. Donald Trump is the most unelectable Republican I've seen in my lifetime. He's not fit to be president of the United States. The Republican Party has been kind here, bringing out the worst in us. Disparaged women, opportunistic, religious bigotry, race baiting, xenophobia. He's a jackass.
This is the most qualified man to be president of the United States.
At the heart of Graham's quote, coming up in a few seconds, is the word showman that he uses to describe Trump's campaign persona. I think we can agree that in Trump's first act, his showmanship was the secret sauce that he stirred to victory. But in his second act, the facade began to show major cracks, and his hubris became more of a liability than an asset, and his sheer oddness could no longer be ignored. And in this, his third act, his showmanship is just a painful shit show to watch each day. MSNBC's Jonathan Capehart sums it up nicely.
Trump's campaign is sputtering, with the candidate admitting he's angry and rejecting advice to stick to the MAGA script. The former president addressed a rally in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania about an hour ago, bringing his usual incoherence and insults to the stage.
I am much better looking than her. I think I'm much better. Much better. I'm a better looking person than Kamala.
Child, please. I'm not normally one to advise Republicans, but I'd say Trump is long overdue for an intervention. Republicans and Trump allies have been pleading with Trump to lay off the personal attacks and stick to policy. Trump's party should do more than talk to him through television interviews and anonymous quotes to the press. They need to conduct an intervention. Instead, they've resigned themselves to this: a dumpster fire they are unwilling to fight or unable to control. As someone who thinks Vice President Harris deserves a promotion, I'm fine with that.
So what did Lindsey Graham, senior Republican senator, say about the Donald Trump dumpster fire during his appearance on Meet the Press this morning? What was the comment that reveals his fear and resignation? Have a listen as he snakes through his talking points and eventually drops the truth bomb that Republicans do not want to hear.
Big picture, bottom line me here. Do you think former President Trump should stop talking about Vice President Harris's race and intelligence?
Yeah, I think my view is that me and Nikki need to go to Georgia. We're giving advice on TV to President Trump. He's got a lot of critics. He's got a lot of advisors. But to Nikki Haley and DeSantis and Youngkin and all these great people we have, let's get together and actually campaign for the guy rather than just give advice. But in the advice-giving column, here's what I would say. Donald Trump, President Trump can win this election. His policies are good for America. And if you have a policy debate for president, he wins. Donald Trump, the provocateur, the showman, may not win this election.
What was that, Lindsey?
Donald Trump, the provocateur, the showman, may not win this election.
And it's interesting that Graham mentioned what he, Haley, DeSantis, and Youngkin should do, not what they're going to do, as if the Trump train derailment is a foregone conclusion and there's no amount of intervention that is going to course correct the Donald. As we've seen, Donald Trump's erratic behavior and bizarre rhetoric have increasingly isolated him, even within his own party. Major Republican figures are conspicuously absent from his side, choosing instead to remain silent like Ron DeSantis, or they default to talk shows lamenting Trump's increasing losses like Graham and Haley. His lack of allies speaks volumes about Trump's diminishing influence and the acceptance that his brand of politics is now a liability, not an asset. And many are ready to move on. The political landscape is shifting and Donald Trump finds himself standing alone. Meanwhile, Democrats stand together, falling in love.
And we are worth her coming here to see us.